You can use what you want to learn about and not what other people want to learn about all the time.
It makes me feel a bit free to do what I want.
If the teacher or someone keeps on telling you you're not really learning, you're just listening to it. If you find out yourself, you're kind of learning as you're going along.
We get to learn and we get to teach ourselves, really.
Go and sit at the table where your questions are.
These students are part of the Inquiring Minds project, a collaboration between two Bristol-based secondary schools and Future Lab, an organisation which researches resources and practices that support innovative learning.
Right, if you'd like to come and get a computer then.
What have you been finding out?
I got a picture of an alien and if we look like that on different planets, and just been writing that scientists made a discovery about a meteor from planet Mars.
What do you think about learning like this rather than learning in like normal lessons?
It's more fun because I learn more than I do here than at different other lessons.
This site here says about what the gods did and where they were from. Like Muhammad believed in Allah and Jesus was the son of God.
What was your question about?
How do humans think?
And where have you been looking for your answers?
I've been looking on the internet. I've looked in some books in the library.
Why do we get older?
And what is it you find interesting about that?
Because no one's really answered that question and no one really knows the answer to it. They all just know like how we get older and what happens to us, but no one really knows the answer of why we have to get older.
There's bullying called suicide. Most of the kids get depressed by being constantly bullied every single day, and they think that the only way they're going to get out of it is kill themselves.
Okay, think back to last week. You know, we talked about what makes a good question and what makes a poor question. What sort of question would not make a good question for this project? Jake?
A yes and no question.
What do you mean by yes and no question? You are right.
A question which is easy to answer.
Yeah, a question which is easy to answer. It wouldn't just be a yes and no question. What else, what other type of question might that be? Can anybody think of an example? Yes, Sam?
A question with like a straight factual answer.
Give me an example of a question like that.
A question with like a factual answer, like the smallest bird, and you could just say,
yes.
Someone knows it or has written a book, or.
Yes, you would quickly find the answer to that, and as a project in itself, there wouldn't be much you could actually do with that.
It's the second year of this 3-year project. Researcher Ben Williams continues to observe the class to see how effective the programme is.
What I want you to do is think about and discuss between you the questions you've got on your sheet.
Is it possible to reverse the people? Is it the cigarette that's killing you, or is it the person making the cigarette that kills you?
No, well that's it. It's an interesting question, isn't it?
It's very interesting.
And it's particularly relevant at the moment, isn't it?
Yeah, with the smoking ban.
With the smoking ban coming up. Yeah?
We dropped in on Steve Mosley's Key Stage 3 students. They're starting a new set of individual inquiries which will go on for the whole of the summer term. We'll be looking at 3 lessons at fortnightly intervals to give a snapshot of just how the project is developing.
You're going to video each other doing your own question. So I want you, as individuals, to come up with your own question. An issue we have at Ashton Park is that our pupils do not achieve the levels at GCSE that they should do, and most of that is down to aspiration and motivation. I'm looking from this particular project to hopefully, you know, encourage kids to become better motivated, to become more effective learners, and to aspire to more. And I think this project has the potential to do that. Where it says context, my inquiry is going to be about. I need you to write your chosen question in that box. Your life. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we'll write that down, yeah? Initially, the concept revolved very much around pupils being the originators of ideas and it being very much pupil-led. and the pupils didn't like it. As the projects develop, we found that we've had to do things like structure lessons, have clear objectives as to an end product.
It's the end of the lesson. Time for the class to share their videoed questions.
Can you address global warming?
How do we think?
Does bullying cause suicide? Why do people believe in different gods?
Do you know when you're dead?
Brilliant, thank you very much.
It's 2 weeks later. There's been another lesson since we last saw the class in which the students have gathered more information. Now it's time to summarise the first stage, or open inquiry part of their project.
We are going to spend just 40 minutes now finishing off this initial stage of the work. Have use of these computers for the next 40 minutes as well. We're presenting that information on your sheets now then. Who is the murderer? Because that would be hard to prove one way or the other, wouldn't it? It would be very much down to people's opinions. Yeah?
That's why you've got to find all the facts first.
Well, yeah, so what you've done, you've found lots of things related to smoking.
Sir, one of the most simple facts, there are ghosts in this world. That is the most simplest fact.
That's your opinion, is it?
Yeah, but
we'll just... Yeah, no.
But then all of the facts that have come up here,
actually seen
if
living proof?
Have you seen living proof?
Yeah. Most on that cam last week, and
yeah, but that might have been a hoax.
Your survey asked if children should go to funerals. What did you find out?
the survey said that most people said, yeah, they should have a choice. That's about it. That's what I found.
How did you do this survey?
I just went around asking like everybody in the class and the teachers what they thought.
I moved on to a question, why do people have plastic surgery done? I changed the question because this question you can find out what other people think, and it's more interesting because you can like find out what people thinking and if they think it's right and their opinions and stuff, not just your own.
And what are you doing now at this moment?
I'm going on this website and it's saying people like writing comments about what they think about it. It's interesting, and I'm writing it down. Someone said that they have plastic surgeries because they're not happy with the way they look, and some people have it done like their jobs, like if they're models or something. But also some people think it's like wrong to have it done, and some people, there's this woman that wrote on there and she's saying that it's pathetic to have it done and people should be happy with the ways they look. And I think that's like a bit wrong because it's up to people what they want to do with their body, but she's just like saying their opinion really.
I'm seeing pupils who are genuinely interested in issues that perhaps they wouldn't have given a second thought to 8 months ago.
I found out a pretty interesting fact that like your brain is made up from 100 billion cells, like, and that's the same amount of trees in the Amazon rainforest. And each cell in your body, each cell in your brain, is connected to 10,000 others. And if you add it up, it's 1,000 trillion. That's the same amount of leaves in the Amazon rainforest.
How like global warming has like made an effect on people and are like, and what's like the future like consequences and what causes it.
Now, over the next few minutes, go around the table and each of you tell the rest of the table an interesting fact that you found out whilst you've been doing this project.
2007 is predicted to be the hottest year on record.
In Britain, we spend 225 million on cosmetics a year.
Some children are born genetically with depression, so if they were being bullied, they would have a higher risk of committing suicide.
The out-of-body experience is when you feel yourself being pulled out of your physical form.
Okay, right. At the moment you've shared what you've found with the people on your immediate table, but there are some fascinating things that people are discussing and have been talked about, and now's an opportunity to just pass facts around. How about over with you environmentalists over there?
Just like how global warming affects us and what causes it.
So what are some of the causes that you've come up with?
Like aerosols and like just carbon dioxide and greenhouse gases.
If other creatures live on other planets, they have to face the same problems as Earth. as us, so it seems possible for them to travel to our planet.
Rich, I know that you found out some cracking facts about the brain, so would you like to share one of them with us?
The human brain consists of about 100 billion cells. The smallest section of your brain does the largest amount of jobs.
Some cracking facts there, Rich. Well done. That's brilliant. I don't say that this approach takes the place of traditional teaching, but I think it complements it, and it complements it in a way which will possibly help motivate kids who don't buy into traditional subjects. You will find out things for yourself. If you look in the right places and you ask the right questions, you can find things that you would never be able to find out at school, because a lot of the facts and a lot of the issues that you're discussing are beyond the understanding and sort of knowledge of a lot of teachers.
A further 2 weeks have passed. The students need to learn interviewing skills for the next phase of their research. Steve has brought in Cecilia, Communications Officer at Future Lab, to help with this phase of the project.
This lady is our surprise guest.
The students ask Cecilia about herself in a bid to work out the kind of questions they might need to ask a potential interviewee.
Do you have any brothers or sisters?
Yeah, I've got 3 sisters and a brother.
What job did you want when you were in school?
When I was at school, I wanted to be a lawyer.
If you could be anyone in the world, who would you be and why?
I think I'd still be me, because I'm pretty happy.
Okay, right, thank you. There was a range of questions there, some of which were perfect examples of what not to ask or what not to pose, and others were excellent questions, and it's exactly the type of things that you should be thinking about.
Cecilia gives her top interviewing tips.
The key really is to do a lot of preparation beforehand. Make sure that you know exactly what you want to find out. Really good ways to start questions is using words who, what, why, where or when, because those are really nice open-ended questions. The last bits, always get the basic facts and always say thank you at the end. And that's it really, those are my tips.
For the rest of the term, the students will be working towards the final element of their inquiry, a newspaper article which will be based on interviews with experts.
What are you doing now?
I wrote an email and I want to find questions. I've written out questions that not necessarily to do with the subject but link to the subject.
We carried out a recent evaluation with pupils as to how they felt the project was going. That a number of them were quite sure that they had actually carried skills from inquiring minds and actually transferred that and used them in other subject areas.
I'm just sort of planning my interview and some of the questions I might ask an environmental specialist.
What sort of questions are they?
Things like what's your opinion on global warming?
What you'd be hoping to find out?
My question is, will global warming affect us in our lifetime? So if their opinion on sort of time span and what's going to happen soon.
The government is saying that it's important perhaps to free up the national curriculum and its content base, particularly at Key Stage 3, has been too heavy. They're encouraging innovation and we're teaching young people to learn. I mean, not to just take in information and regurgitate facts.